Hey everybody, it's Tish. Nice to be here this Monday evening, 6 p.m. tonight. Now, my new series of lives is going to consist of me giving some training each week on a different topic to do with building grit and resilience whilst building a business and you're trying to overcome some personal challenges. Now, the reason why I'm on my business page this time is because Facebook, as you may know, are having a clampdown on people who are doing business or appear to be doing business on their personal page. So that's why I've migrated it to my business page. So it may be that in the beginning, people don't know where I am. I did put the link on my personal page, so it might take some time to build up for people to see where I am and to be viewing this. But anyway, that's okay. I'm going to share this onto my personal page, so you may well be watching this from my personal page. So it's been a great weekend. I hope you've had a great weekend. The reason why I'm bringing it earlier to 6 p.m. is because when I move over to the UAE, we are going to be 3 hours ahead. So if I go live at 8 p.m. British summer time, it's going to be far too late for me. I'll be very sleepy and tired. So my lives are going to be at 6 p.m. So when you join me, please do say hi. If you're watching live, type #live in the comments. If you're watching on replay, #replay. And if you're a new person, if you've never seen my lives before, please type #newbie and I'll say hi to you. So tonight's subject is going to be making peace with where you are right now in your life and in your business, or one or the other. And it's very important that we make peace. Hi Sophie. It's very important that we make peace with where we are. So I'm going to go through some reasons why we need to do that. Hi Sophie. And then I'm going to go through some steps, 6 steps on how to make peace with where you are right now. If you're struggling with where you are right now and you want to be somewhere different, you thought you might have been further on by now, or maybe life's thrown you a really difficult curveball and you're struggling with that too. So if any of this relates to you, then please do feel free to comment, interact with me, ask some questions. I may not be able to get to them in the live, but I will come back to them. Or if anything does relate to you, as I said, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. So why should we make peace with where we are? Well, firstly, because acceptance of where we are reduces a victim mentality, or can reduce a victim mentality. So if we accept what's happening in our lives or in our businesses, if we're not where we want to be, it can be easier just to acknowledge that this is where we are. There's maybe nothing we can do right now, but sometimes it's easy for us to go into a victim mentality. And you don't want to do that. You really don't want to be thinking thoughts like, why me? Why does this always happen to me? Because that won't progress you forward, and that will just create feelings of low self-esteem, low self-belief, lack of confidence, as well as feelings of maybe embarrassment and failure. And what we want to do is we want to try and avoid them as much as we possibly can. So another reason to accept where you are right now, to make peace with where you are right now, is because if you're focusing on your main end goal, so whatever your goal is, whether it's in your personal life or whether it's in your business life, if you're focusing too much on that goal, what you're actually doing is missing the present moment, and you're missing maybe what you need to be doing right now. You could be missing opportunities. It's very easy for us to get wrapped up in exactly where we want to be. So I will be okay when I earn £5,000 a month. I will be okay when I've written and sold a book. I will be okay when I get married and have children. And having that future focus is okay. But if we put too much emphasis on it, we miss the riches of what life can bring now in our present moment. And it can also cause a lot of stress and frustration. It can cause us to have resistance and cause those negative feelings, so that we're not enjoying the present moment, and we're not enjoying everything that life is giving to us now. So where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. It's exactly where you're supposed to be. And even if it's uncomfortable where you are right now, being uncomfortable is an indicator, or can be an indicator, of that things need to change, either within yourself, or you need to change something outside of yourself if you can. So we live in a modern and fast-paced and competitive world now, especially if you have an online business, like lots of us do, who watch this, who sort of follow people like me. We have online businesses. It can be very competitive, and we can look at other people and we can think they're doing great. Why aren't I where they are? I wish I was earning, the money that I think they're earning. And it can be very, very easy to compare where we are to where they are. And that again can cause us to, it can eat into our low self-esteem, and it can eat into our self-belief. So when we put people on a pedestal like that, it immediately puts us beneath them psychologically. And so what we need to remember is that when people are doing what we deem that we would like to do, it's important to remember that they've possibly been in the business longer than you. They've just been exposed to more experiences than you. They've been doing it for longer and they've learnt more. It doesn't mean that they're better than you. Sometimes if we feel like there's an urgency that we have to get to a certain point within a certain time. Now, if you're using your business and the income from that business as your sole income, and maybe financially you're not doing great, and you've got debts and things that you need to pay, then it can seem really, really urgent that you get your business going, you bring some more income in. And I understand that, but remember the story about the tortoise and the hare, more haste, less speed. It's very easy to want to race and to get things done, and then we become overwhelmed. But methodically planning out what you need to do is definitely the way forward, in my experience anyway. So sometimes we think that we have less time than we do. So for instance, if you've got a goal, say any kind of goal, a personal goal or a business goal, and your goal is to achieve that within 3 months. Now, how you perceive time is a very personal thing. So for instance, I've written down some figures here, I'll just get them. So for instance, if you've got a goal of 3 months, now to me, 3 months doesn't seem like a long time. But if you break it down, 3 months in weeks is 12 weeks. So to me, 12 weeks seems longer than 3 months, even though it's the same. 3 months equals 84 days. Now to me, 84 days doesn't seem long. 12 weeks seems longer to me. In hours, it's 2,016 hours. And in minutes, it's 120,960 minutes. So however you perceive time, just remember that when you're thinking, oh, I've only got 3 months to do this, or I've only got a month to do this, break it down so that it seems that you've got more time than you have, because you actually have. You can eliminate things in your days to be able to create more time as well. So you can get rid of things that are not completely necessary, and you can create more time, the time that you need to be able to get to the things that you want to achieve. It's very common as well that we put high expectations upon ourselves, especially if you're a perfectionist in life and in business. So recognising that we do have perfectionist tendencies, and just recognising them can help you to start to make peace with where you are, because you can step outside of yourself and know that this is how I am. I'm a perfectionist, and you can start to work on dropping those perfectionism attitudes if you want to. The negative thinking around the frustration of not being at peace with where you are, that negative thinking can actually stop you from seeing the opportunities that are all around you to help you move forward. If you're sat in thoughts of why me, or I'm not good enough, and I'm not clever enough, and I haven't got the work ethic, or maybe, you know, it's a personal problem you're dealing with, so maybe your relationship has failed and it's, you know, I'm not lovable, those kind of thoughts. If you stay in those thoughts, what will happen is that, or what can happen is that you can miss the opportunities to progress, because your mind is so foggy with all the negative thinking. So it's important to recognize that. So what I'm going to do is talk to you now about 6 steps. 6. I did that then, I meant 6. 6 steps to making peace with where you are. So step 1 is stop being so hard on yourself. We're all human. We all make mistakes. Other people make mistakes as well. And give yourself permission to be exactly where you are. You know, give yourself a break. Don't beat yourself up because you are not where you are in your life right now. It's very easy to think that we are superhuman and we should be further on than we are, but actually, you know, there's a lot of people, even the most highest achievers, who still don't feel they are where they need to be. So make peace with where you are by stop being so hard on yourself. Step 2 is, if you have recognised that you've got some negative self-talk, so what I mean by that is you've got words running around in your mind like, I'm not good enough, I'm not clever enough, etc. You know, it'll never happen for me. Write down the main ones and then find the evidence. Look for the evidence that this is true, because what you will probably find is that those thoughts are highly over-exaggerated. So really look at that and think, where's the evidence to suggest that I'm not clever enough? What have I achieved so far that can counter those thoughts? Because by pulling out the evidence that they aren't true will help you to drop those thoughts. Step 3 is to step outside of yourself and observe what's happening. So whatever it is that is holding you back, or that you deem to be holding you back, try to step outside of yourself and be objective. Look at the situation and look at the facts, because when we do that, sometimes it turns out that it's not as bad as you think. And so once we can sort of take the emotion out of the situation, learning to look at it objectively can really help you. Step 4 is talk to somebody if you're struggling emotionally. So if you are having a hard time personally and you're the thing that's holding you back in business is a personal difficulty, then talk to somebody if you feel you need to, and a trusted friend, or a life coach, like somebody like me. But if you are going to speak to a professional, make sure that you know, like, and trust them first, because when you have a discussion with a life coach, such as I'm a resilience coach, but I do have life coach qualifications, you need to be entirely sure that they will treat you and your information with the utmost confidentiality. And that is really, really important for you as well, so that you know that. And also, you know, look into their work and make sure that they know what they're talking about and they are able to help you. Step 5 is savour the present moment. Now, I'm sure you've all heard of mindfulness and practicing mindfulness. If you think it's all a bit airy-fairy or maybe a bit woo-woo, it actually works really well. Now, practicing mindfulness really just means slowing your thoughts right down so that you can really start to learn how to live in the present moment. And that means not projecting your thoughts to the future so that you're anxious, not looking at the past, because when we look at the past, that can cause symptoms of depression. And so learning how to live in the present moment is a real key aspect of making peace with where you are right now. And there's so many techniques that you can use to learn to live in the present moment. And it is a skill, it really is a skill, but it absolutely can be mastered. And step number 6 is, if you do have goals, which I'm sure you do, break them down into manageable chunks. And I would say, look at your end goal and work your way backwards to see what you need to do to be able to get to that goal in manageable chunks. So it's like the old saying, isn't it? How do you eat an elephant in bite-sized, or one bite at a time? So it's really important that you don't get overwhelmed with your end goal, with what you're trying to achieve. Really break down into detail the little steps that you need to take to get to that goal, and really pat yourself on the back and congratulate yourself when you achieve those small little steps, because all the small steps lead to the bigger steps. So they're my 6 steps to making peace with where you are right now in your life or in your business. If you found this useful, please do like it, tag anybody you think that might benefit from it. I lost my train of thought there. And also share this into your groups or into your pages if you think somebody might benefit from this. If you know somebody that is really struggling with making peace with where they are right now, if you know somebody who's thinking, you know, why is this happening to me? Why me? How am I going to recover from this? Or why am I not at where I should be with my business? Then, you know, tag them in this, and hopefully this will be able to help them on their journey of making peace with where they are. So as I said, all my lives will be in here from now on. I'll be back next Monday at 6 p.m. with another topic. As I said, it will take time to build up and to build viewers up, because nobody knows I'm in this page at the moment. So hopefully we'll have a few more viewers next time. So have a great evening, guys, and I'll see you soon. Take care.